Am I the asshole for not getting to know my nephew and niece and not wanting to bring them into my home? I, 27 female, have an older sister, 28 female. We're 18 months apart in age. I have a 2-year-old son. She has a 5-year-old son and a 3-year-old daughter. I have never met her kids. My sister and I never got along, and I'll be honest that I don't know why it started. Petty stuff more than likely. But I will always remember that my sister wished I had never been born. She told me multiple times. She told my friends. Our parents really hated it, and I remember all the times they would talk to us about not having to be best friends, but we should be respectful and not mean. We went to therapy, individually, together. They tried to get our cousins to help things. Not by forcing time together but by trying to encourage less hostility. When I graduated high school, she didn't show up. She got a lot of shit for it. And then when she showed up at our cousin's graduation a week later, in a different city, she made her feelings very clear. That I should not have sent our family after her, I didn't, but she blamed me, and that if she hadn't been clear before, she never wanted me for her sister, she wished I had never been born, and everyone would have been better off without me around. I asked her what I ever did. She told me she didn't have to tell me anything and to leave her alone. So I did. And I have. She refused to bring her kids around me. She would give ultimatums to family. Either invite her and exclude me or invite us both, but she would not be there. She had a fit at our grandmother's 70th birthday because grandma wanted her to come anyway, and she showed up and wouldn't bring her son in, who was a baby at the time, because I was there. It seems now she has calmed a little. Our parents babysit for her. And they have shown me texts where she told them it was okay to have me around them, they asked. But I said no. I said no for 2 reasons. I know she would stop that access at any time, for any reason, and I could do nothing about it. And I'm worried if she did that, it would hurt my son as he gets older and if he got to bond with them. I should also point out she had a very nasty response when my parents tried getting her to meet him. My parents don't get my refusal. They told me I should jump at the chance. Then a week ago they asked me to watch the kids for 2 hours for them. I said no. I said I didn't feel comfortable with that. My parents tore me to pieces for not doing more to have a relationship with my niece and nephew, and that I should be ashamed. I am having some guilt about my decision. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. You are under no obligations to rebuild bridges other people burned. Not the asshole. She has hurt you repeatedly in the past, and damaged your relationship. It's entirely your choice whether you want to try repairing it or not. But honestly, given that she hasn't even offered an apology, it doesn't seem that it would be worth it. And your parents should stay out of it, since you're a grown adult and can handle relationships yourself. Not the asshole. Your sister is a toxic and manipulative woman. Not the asshole. Your sister has some real issues. I'd have trouble forgiving a person who treated me garbage for most of my life. Why would you want to bring that negativity around your kid? Also, has she even apologized or tried to make amends? Doesn't sound like it. Don't let that back into your life. Not the asshole. I wonder if she is suddenly okay with you being around because she needs another babysitter. Either way, she was malicious and cruel your entire lives and can have her wish of not having a sister now. Not the asshole, but your parents are. They seem to be presenting, I will permit Ock to set foot in the same house as my kids, as some kind of olive branch, or even a big treat for you. It really isn't. She is the one who caused the problem. If they want to tell one of you to be ashamed about spoiling family harmony, they should talk to her. They're nagging you because it's easier, not because it's fair. And you have zero responsibility to be the backup babysitter FFS. Repeat, she doesn't want me in her life, so I won't get involved with her family, over and over whenever this gets raised. Not the asshole. But I need to ask this. Were either or both of you abused in some way as a child? This is super common, especially with sexual abuse victims. I'm not trying to make any accusations, but I'm only speaking from experience and out of concern. Your sister is an obvious asshole, but in this instance your parents are worse. They allowed her to dictate the terms of your relationship for decades, but the moment you draw a boundary for yourself and your child, it's a problem. Not the asshole. Your sister is a big bag of yikes and your parents are being ridiculous. Good on grandma for not tolerating her bullshit. Not the asshole. You should start giving your parents ultimatums. They are just as responsible for her behavior and have reinforced it. I'm petty, so I'd go NC for a while to prove a point. That you can play this bullshit game, and if they continue to allow sis to do this, you will not be involved in their lives. Make them choose. I'll probably get downvoted for this, but sometimes people aren't meant to be in our lives, and if I were treated like you have been, I would pull that trigger. Not the asshole. After reading the comments, I would stay away from her children, and especially being alone with her children, not just because she could revoke access. But what if she starts making accusations about you after you've had time alone with her kids? Whatever her grudge is, she sounds vindictive and like there are no limits on what she might do. Info: what was your role in this? It's pretty weird that she wants nothing to do with you for no reason. Alright, something had to have happened. Nobody is this resentful out of just habit. Not the asshole, but there's gotta be something you don't know about or remember. Not saying you were the cause, just saying there's gotta be something. Not the asshole. Also, listen to your gut and don't be alone with her children. Even if it's just for your parents to run to the store, as vindictive and cruel as your sister is, she would totally be the type to fabricate an incident, so just don't give her any ammunition. It sounds like she has serious issues. I'm not sure why your parents don't see how bad it actually is. Your sister is extremely toxic, and it's best you keep you and your family away. So sorry. I have family like this, myself. It's hard. Not the asshole. If your sister wants to rebuild the relationship, she should start by contacting you and wanting to spend time with you. It sounds like she just wants free babysitting that she can treat like crap. Not the asshole. She has said the most hurtful things to you for absolutely no reason, consistently. She missed milestones in your life and stopped you from witnessing hers for undisclosed reasons. I assume there aren't any valid ones. Why do you have to run to the opportunity of meeting her kids when she's treated you like trash for years? Especially when it could affect you or your child when she decides to be horrible again. Do you really not know why she feels this way to you? Not the asshole. She was angry she had to share attention with you after you were born and never grew out of it. This is all her doing. Do not subject your kids or yourself to her nonsense in any shape or form. She does not want a relationship with you. Just do as you did so far. She is nothing to you, and so are her kids, not because they are bad, they are just kids, but for the reasons you stated. Do not let her have any power over you or your kids ever again. My parents tore me to pieces for not doing more to have a relationship with my niece and nephew, and that I should be ashamed. Remind him that they are having that conversation with the wrong person. Don't let them guilt you. Not the asshole. Softening or not, your sister has some serious issues. The fact that she gracing you with the chance to be around her children does not entitle her or your family to ask favors of you like babysit. She does not get to dictate when you can or cannot be a family. Either she makes the effort, commitment 100%, or she can GTFO. Not the asshole. Your sister did this. Decades of cruelty and hostility without explanation did this. You should be thankful that your sister doesn't mind if you're around. Tell your parents to fuck off. If your sister wants to rebuild the relationship, she should reach out to you directly. Not do it through your parents, who probably enabled her behavior in the first place. NTA. I was really prepared to say you were the asshole, but after reading all of that, I can understand why you don't want someone around you kids who has the potential to hurt them by cutting him out. This is a hard situation. Not the asshole. Your parents should be ashamed for putting any of this on you. They should be weeping at the abuse and rejection you suffered at her hands. Not the asshole. She doesn't want to be your sister. You don't have to be their aunt. I hope no one needs a kidney. Not the asshole. You're spot on with her being able to revoke access anytime and affect the relationship your child would have with her children. You are not obligated to be the bigger person when none of that grace has been extended your way. Your sister should make it plain what the issue is, since you're both grown now. You, Olive smiles brightly, stay away. Your sister is vindictive and cruel. If you are ever alone with her children, I guarantee you will end up with allegations of abuse, neglect directed your way. Not the asshole. Protect yourself and your own. Not the asshole. Your awful sister can hire a sitter if your parents can't take them, and you have no obligation to ever meet them or help with them if you don't want to. Not the asshole. I'm sorry your sister is such a cruel person. Woo. Not the asshole. After all the time dealing with her stuff, you absolutely do not owe her connection with her or her kids. Unfortunate for the kids probably. But understandable with the circumstances definitely. Setting the boundary so that you protect yourself and your child from fallout with her makes sense. Your parents have a different perspective and they're allowed to not understand it. I hope they at least come around to understanding it. Ripping you for not babysitting is shitty on their part. Not the asshole. Your sister sounds like an evil person. Not the asshole. Your parents may think she is offering an olive branch, but remember, at its base an olive branch is still just another stick, one which can be used to beat you again. Not the asshole. And I would never be alone with her kids. She could accuse you of all kinds of stuff. Not the asshole, but for some reason I feel like something is missing. You don't know what it is, and one or both of your parents might not know, but she does. Not the asshole. Until your sister tells you why she hated you so much that she couldn't stand to be in your presence, and you both work the issue, you can't have a relationship with her. Not the asshole. You don't get over a lifetime of being told, I wish you were never born, in an instant. Your parents wanting you to watch her kids was with or without your sister's knowledge. I doubt she would like that. Your sister has some weird freaking hang-up she made everyone accommodate for ages. Not your fault. Not the asshole. She chose not to have a sibling relationship with you, even to the point of cruelty by making other family decide between you two. You're just following her lead. Yeah, every time I see people talking about being the bigger, better person, it seems to involve letting awful people walk all over you to keep the peace. You, Maze Silk. You did what was best for you. They should be ashamed. They raised your sister and she's the one who started this hate relationship and kept it going. Keep your head up and keep those boundaries too. Toxic all around. Your parents are the assholes, as well as your sister, in this situation. You've put up with your sister's hate towards you all your life. Yes, your parents tried to stop it, but it continued anyway, so they didn't try hard enough. To now lay that guilt on you for not wanting a relationship with your sister's family, is just really nasty, toxic behavior. You're just protecting yourself, and your kids, from more hatred. They don't get to have a say in how you feel about your sister, as they didn't protect you enough, when growing up, from her venom. You're making the right choice in not wanting to see your sister. They only have themselves to blame. Not the asshole. They told me I should jump at the chance. What chance? She doesn't sound like a prize to me. Then a week ago they asked me to watch the kids for 2 hours for them. I said no. I said I didn't feel comfortable with that. My parents tore me to pieces for not doing more to have a relationship with my niece and nephew, and that I should be ashamed. They should be ashamed for not correcting the issue when it was still in their power to fix it. Not the asshole. Are you kidding me, Op? Definitely not the asshole. Your sister completely severed your relationship, and refused to give you an explanation why. Whether it was how close you were in age, maybe one performed better in school, some unmentioned dynamic between the two of you, she made the decision to leave you out of her kids' lives. She decides to just get over it, leaving you with years of emotional trauma. Your parents also kinda suck here. They didn't necessarily condone the behavior, but for them to not see the reason why you're uncomfortable with this is honestly astounding. Has she apologized? No? Then she doesn't get shit unless you decide you really want her to. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. The parents are the asshole right now. They also should have nipped her behavior toward you in the bud as a kid. My parents don't get my refusal. They told me I should jump at the chance. So it's okay for her to refuse, but not for you. That's absolute bullshit. Not the asshole. They've been catering to her bullshit for decades. It's ridiculous. Not the asshole. After both my parents died, I cut this exact older sister out of my life. When I was a teenager, I finally figured out how to describe her behavior. She was born to be an only child, and as far as she's concerned, I messed all that up for her. I'm unable to have children, and, after a life of treating me much as your sister treated you, she offered to be a surrogate. I couldn't take the risk that out of spite or just her personality that she would randomly feel okay explaining to my child how they came into the world and that I'm not actually their mum. I had a revelation recently and realized I'm not the crazy one. Her behavior is toxic, that's why I have friends and a functioning marriage, and she lives in our parents' house with her daughter. Wow. Everything is only up to her then. And your parents are enabling this. You've been had all this time, I'm sorry to say. Don't let them push up around anymore, please. You are obviously hurt by all this, so take a stand for yourself even if your parents don't get it. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Tell your parents you will consider meet her kids the day she apologizes to you and not a day sooner. Discussion over mom and dad. Not the asshole. You are protecting yourself and your son from someone who chose for years to hurt you. Not the asshole. Your sister set boundaries. You are allowed to as well. Clearly tell your parents that you are not exposing your child to what you went through. Not the asshole. She found a way to redirect your parents' ire to you. Knowing full well you probably wouldn't want your kid around hers, she pretends to be okay with it, expecting you to decline. And you did so now the parents are after you for denying their desire for the perfect family despite your sister doing that for most if not all of your lives. Not the asshole.